Ladies and gents, boys and girls, what is going on? Thursday, July the 22nd, 2021. Guys, appreciate you all tuning in. I see Scott Stamey, Travis Rowell, SEC Football Tube. What's going on? I'm Chris Phillips, the Daily Crow, the Spurs Up Show. As always, again, guys, appreciate it. We got a packed show here on a Thursday. A lot to get into, a lot of developments over the last 24 hours with SEC Media Days, the future of the SEC. Gamecocks football, everything. Guys, again, appreciate you all tuning in. Thanks so much. This Thursday, July the 22nd, 2021. Guys, before we get into everything, I do want to tell you about our friends over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm, because the Daily Crow is presented to you by our friends at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm. Guys, they're young but experienced and aggressive attorneys. They're both former prosecutors who used to represent insurance companies but switching sides. They both worked at larger law firms where they've represented hundreds of clients at a time. And guys, they both left to start their own law firm because they understand you're not just a line item. You're not just a number. You're a human being. You should be treated as such. Guys, they're a small boutique law firm that treats their clients like family. They're going to know who you are and treat you like a client, not a number. They handle injury cases that arise from car accidents and work accidents. Guys, do not try to take on the insurance company yourself. You've been involved in any type of accident, whatever it may be. The last thing that you need to be worried about or have on your mind is paperwork and dealing with the insurance company. Let the experts over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm handle it for you, guys. They use the latest technology to make representation efficient yet effective. Again, let them take care of everything for you. You don't even pay them unless they recover money for you. Rami's in Columbia, Curtis in Charleston. They handle cases statewide. They also offer virtual or in-person consultations at no charge. Guys, give them a call today. In Columbia, 803-973-0304, or in their Somerville location, 843-388-3368. Or, of course, guys, your one-stop shop, their website, dsinjurylaw.com. That is dsinjurylaw.com for more information. Again, guys, it's our friends over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm. Be sure to check them out and tell them that Chris from the Spurs Up Show sent you. Okay, here we go. Thursday, July the 22nd, 2021. Hope you're all doing well. Again, taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. If you are in the Big Cock Club Discord, head over to the TDC Questions channel in the Big Cock Club Discord to make sure your questions are answered there, okay? First priority questions in the TDC Questions channel in the Big Cock Club Discord. If you want to join the Big Cock Club, head over to patreon.com/Big Cock Club, or just follow the links on our social media. They are there. I will be adding that link to our link tree as well, which I don't know if you guys noticed that, but we did update our website to be our link tree. So there's one link for everything you need for the Spurs Up Show. Again, guys, appreciate you all tuning in. I see Scott, Travi, SEC Football Tube, Brian Welch, John Kruger, Jonathan Lee, Sean O'Brien, Reichley, Kruger. What's going on? Appreciate y'all tuning in. Brian Welch says, I was pumped with Jordan Rodgers from Monday, and then he turns around and that BS comes out of his mouth today. SEC Football Tube, I appreciate the love on the countdown. Yes, my guy did an incredible job. The countdown is super dope. Really, really glad that we did that. I love it. I love the countdown. I was just looking one day and I was like, you know what? We need a countdown. We need something different. Freshen it up, right? I like to evolve, sharpen the content. I think the countdown's fire. So I appreciate you approving SEC Football 2. Hope you've been well, man, by the way. Keep up the good work. Let's see. SEC Football 2 says Texas and OU in the SEC. I figured that was probably going to be the initial talking point of today. So would love to take your questions, comments, calls around that. 843-790-3377. Again, 843-790-3377. The phone lines are open, guys. I'll be totally honest with you. I'm not a fan of it. I mean, listen, if it happens, it happens. It is what it is. You got to play who you got to play. But just hear me out. For a program that is building and that is trying to get back to Atlanta for only the second time in school history and has never won an SEC title. You know, I've got a buddy of mine I was talking to this about, and he said, I love adding them because then if you win the SEC, you've beat the best. Can we at least win one first? Like, do we really need to be in favor of making the path to Atlanta even harder for Carolina football? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to be the guy, like, I don't want to play good teams, but I want a ring. And, people can knock Clemson and the ACC and their schedule. But you know what? You play who you play, and when you rack up championships, it's like, who gives a damn? You know what I mean? So if it happens, it happens. It is what it is. There'd be some really cool matchups, but it's like making it even harder to get there. It's like, dude, can we at least win one first? That's all I'm saying. Can we just win one first? That's all I'm saying. So I don't know. We'll see if it happens. I'm still skeptical that it even will happen. I don't know. It just seems. I don't know. I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. Maybe it will. They seem pretty serious. I think it'd be pretty crazy. Obviously, I think it would certainly. The impact would be felt far beyond just the SEC. I mean, the entire landscape of college football would be shaken up due to this. So we'll see. I don't know. We will see. I don't think it'll happen, but we'll see. Let's see. Tyler Phillips. Yeah, of course, the quote this morning that's got everybody shook up is Jordan Rodgers of SEC Network on SEC Media Days saying that Tank Bigsby is the best running back in the SEC, and it's not even close. Now, listen, if you want to argue Tank's the best running back in the SEC, we can have that argument. You know what? It's fair. Whatever. I made the point on social media. It's kind of a silly argument to begin with because Auburn fans think Tank is the best. Texas A&M fans think Spiller's the best. Isaiah Spiller. I almost said CJ Spiller. Isaiah Spiller's the best. We think Kevin Harris is the best. So it's all like biases in any ways. Whatever. It's all bias and all that. But to say that it is Tank Bigsby and it's not even close, that's where you kind of miss me. You know what I mean? That's sort of where you miss me in regards to it not even being close. I mean, listen, they're all great. They're fantastic backs, but only one guy led the conference in rushing, and he plays his football in Columbia, South Carolina. So that's all I'm saying. Tyler Phillips makes the point. Tank has one less carry with 800-something yards, and Kevin has one more carry with 1,113 yards. Guys, I can tell you why people say that, though. If you really want to know, I can tell you why, okay? In regards, because guess what? The preseason all-conference teams are going to come out today, and guess what? Kevin Harris is not going to be first team. I'm just going to tell you right now, he's not going to be first team. And the reason is this. Here is the reason. Here's the reason why. Kevin Harris, fantastic back, took over the SEC, had an incredible year. But the reason he's not going to get the love, guys, is I'll be honest. Kevin Harris is not a flashy, sexy guy. Not in regards to his looks, but his play. Like, he's not that guy with the incredible upside and has the flashy moves. And, Kevin Harris is more of a lunch pail type of runner, downhill type of guy between the tackles, gets those tough 3 yards. I know he had some explosive plays last year, but that's his running style. And people look at Tank Bigsby and they fall in love with, again, his play is he has a very much sexier game, I should say, than Kevin Harris. That's it. That's literally it, guys. So, and I agree with you. If Kevin Harris played on Alabama, he'd be preseason first team. But guess what? He doesn't play on Alabama. He plays on South Carolina. And coming off a 2-win season, that's what the people see. Again, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying indifferent. I'm not saying it's right, though. I'm not saying that reasoning's correct, but I think that's the reasoning. He's just not a flashy guy, and he doesn't get that love nationally. He just doesn't. Also, the other thing, too, he wasn't a highly touted prospect. He wasn't a highly touted recruit. Because I don't know if you guys knew this. Kevin Harris, I read somewhere, he only had 2 other offers, and it was like Colorado State and Army. I mean, Kevin Harris was not a highly recruited guy. Like, just call it for what it is. He wasn't. So I think that's the reason, though. Like I told you guys, who really gives a damn? Because as long as he's on that postseason list, that's the only list that matters. That's the only list that matters. So, and SEC Football 2 says Kevin Harris led the conference in rushing last year. Tank is good, but Kevin is the best, not biased. Well, I mean, do you are stats everything? I would ask you that. Are stats everything? Right? Are stats everything? I mean, listen, if you want to talk about, and that's the thing too, what do they pick the preseason All-SEC teams on? Are you picking it on last year's stats? Are you picking it on how good you think the stats will be this year? Are you picking it on upside? Are you picking it on how well they project to the next level? Like, what are people basing the picks off of? Because, hey, I'm not going to argue that Tank Bigsby might have a longer NFL career than Kevin Harris. I don't know. I have no idea. But, again, it's all from people's different perspectives. You know what I mean? It is. That's really what it comes down to. So, but for Jordan Rodgers to say it's not even close, I think is certainly where, if he'd have just said, hey, I think Tank Bigsby's the best running back in the SEC, I mean, whatever. There are many others that think that too, guys. Many. Many others think that too. But, as far as saying he's the best by far and I don't know. That's a stretch to me. That's a stretch to me. Again, 843-790-3377, guys. It's 843-790-3377. We'd love to take your questions, comments. Call SitDog9. Says, I fully expect defenses to take away the run game and make Doty throw the football anyways. Well, SitDog9, I expect us to run the damn ball either way. I really do. I think we're going to try. We need to force the issue offensively. You can't just go away from the run because they're stacking the box and it's not working early. South Carolina, and today's show, by the way, check out the podcast that dropped today, episode 474. We began our TSUS season preview series today, talking South Carolina's offense going into the 2021 season. So I broke down the offense. We talked about returners, departures, top storylines, season will be successful if, why they'll be better, why they'll be worse, gave my prediction, all that good stuff. So we talked about all that. And the reality for this offense this year, guys, is this. I believe this, is that South Carolina will not win in games it cannot run the football. It won't. It will not win in games where it cannot run the football. Simply put. Scott Stamey, yes, we got a little Carolina waterfall going on. A little Carolina waterfall. The Beamer ball cut. Why not? I don't know how long I'll keep it. We'll see what happens, but just figured why not, man? Just because I can. Just because I can, Scott. And I feel like this is the first time I haven't worn a hat on the Daily Crow or like in content in God knows how long. So figured why not? Today felt like a great. And you see the shirt I'm rocking? Jordan Rodgers was the one that inspired that. Guys, again, I'm all about positive energy, and I'm not wearing this in like a negative way. But I don't know. After what Jordan Rodgers said, it's like, hey, it just felt right. Something about it felt right. So, Sean O'Brien, yeah, Saturday Down South is definitely give Kevin Harris his love. My buddy Chris Marler obviously has shown a ton of love to Kevin Harris. And again, it's all preseason banter, whatever, talking points. We all know the statistics. We all know what Kevin Harris did. And the stats will all sort themselves out before it's all said and done. That's it. The only all SEC team that matters is the postseason one. That's really it. The postseason one. So whatever. It is what it is. Brian Dean, we were 2-8, but easily could have been a 5-6 win team. Brian, are you talking about last year? I don't know that I can agree with that, my guy. That team last year was bad. That team. There's a reason there's a new head coach, Brian. There is a reason there is a new head coach. So let's not sugarcoat last year. We sucked. We sucked last year. We did. We just were not a good football team. We were not a good football team last year for multiple reasons. Like I said, there's a reason there's a new head coach and a new staff. So it's okay to say that. It's okay to acknowledge that. I think trying to say we could have been 5-5. I think that's really sugarcoating how bad last year went. Cody Gaskins, yeah. Also, episode 474, like I said, dropped this morning. TSUS season preview series beginning today. Breaking down the Gamecocks offense heading in the 2021 football season. Also, guys, I did talk recruiting, take your listener questions, and a fantastic, incredible conversation. Former Gamecocks running back Corey Boyd joined me. Guys, he was actually on the show like 3 years ago, but it had been 3 years too long since I chatted with him on the airwaves, got him on. Incredible conversation. And I'll tell you this about Corey Boyd. And Corey, guys like Corey, they're the guests I love having on for this reason. Guys who overcame adversity in their careers, right? It wasn't just smooth sailing for 4 years and nothing went wrong. And, I'm not saying I'm glad he went through hardships, but it's really cool to hear perspective from those type of people like, hey, this is what happened. This is how I overcame it. This is what I learned from it. This is how I got better. And Corey Boyd certainly went through that in his football career and in his life. I would say this. He was a great Gamecock. He is a great Gamecock. He's an even better human being, though. Great stuff. A great conversation. Highly suggest you guys listen to it. Also, quick update for the podcast, for the TSUS season preview series. Of course, like I said, today we started with offense. Monday, we'll talk defense. Thursday of next week, we will talk special teams. And then after that following week, so that will close out the month of July. Starting the first week of August, that's when we'll get into our position unit preview series, breaking down every single position unit on the Gamecocks football team. And of course, that week will probably be the start of fall camp. So we'll be talking about that as well. But the position unit preview series will start that first week of August as well. Also, guys, quick reminder, playing the season on Heisman, that returns tonight, 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock kickoff. We will take on Troy tonight Tomorrow, guys, I'm probably going to play in the morning. I know that's an audible, but I've got to go home tomorrow afternoon, help out with the family. My mom obviously still recovering from surgery. So going to go home in the afternoon. We're going to play, I think, in the morning, like 10 a.m. or something. I'm going to take on the Tennessee Volunteers. I'll let you guys know what time. Again, I apologize for the sort of, just kind of all over the place with the timing and all that. But, like I said, right now in the summer when I can go home and help out and, you just be flexible, roll the punches. I know you guys can do that. So, again, I'll let you guys know. But tonight, for certain, we're going to play at 9 o'clock. We're going to play Troy, try to get over 500. And then tomorrow, we're going to play the Tennessee Volunteers. And, of course, that content will return next week as well. Let's see. Brian Dean says, Alabama historically dominant, but with only 3 starters back, they will take a step back. Yeah, I mean, Brian, listen, I still have them winning the West. I'm not bold enough to say they're not going to win the SEC West, but I do think Georgia beats them in the SEC title. So, Tyler Phillips, I feel like Jason Brown might be a better passer than Luke. I like Luke, but I like Brown. Again, people are putting all their stock in 2 passes they saw from the spring game. I mean, that's literally it. So, we can have that conversation if you want. We can have that conversation. Let's see. Sit Dog 9 says, Doty has to make some throws. We know what we can get out of Harris. Yeah, I mean, listen, you're going to have to find some semblance of a passing game. You're going to have to throw it at some point to win. But, again, I hate the narrative of people saying that Luke Doty can't throw the football. I don't agree. Can he shred SEC defenses? Well, we don't know that yet. We also don't know that about Jason Brown. We don't know that about Jason Brown at all. He played FCS football, guys. He played St. Francis. I like Jason Brown. But he hasn't played at this level. The touchdowns he threw in the spring game, again, I'm not trying to take away credit, but the touchdowns he threw in the spring game were to E.J. Jenkins, who's 6'7.5". It was over a defensive back that's like 5'9". Any quarterback on our roster could have made that throw, guys. Any quarterback. Key says Prunty and Ross could be huge for us this year. I mean, they're definitely both going to play, especially Prunty. I mean, I think he's one of your starting cornerbacks, one of your starting defensive backs. So I think certainly they're both going to have a big impact. Sean O'Brien, do you see Jason Brown getting in some reps at quarterback in week 1? I think it's I think it's certainly a possibility, but it won't be reps in the sense of, we're letting the guys battle it out and let's see who should start next week. I think he'll be getting reps in the sense of like mop-up duty. But Luke Doty is QB1, guys. I don't know how many times we have to say that or how many times we should say that. Luke Doty is QB1 right now. He will be QB1 at the start of fall camp, and he will be QB1 against Eastern Illinois. He will. And guess what? He'll be QB1 against East Carolina. Until he loses the job, he is QB1. He's QB1. Guys, I mean, I'm so confident that Luke Doty is QB1. If you listen to the podcast that dropped this morning, like I said, if you listen to that show breaking down offense, again, I talk about, and I love to present these hypotheticals of why I think the Gamecocks offense, or when I'm talking offense, defense, special teams, one of the segments is why they'll be better, why they'll be worse, right? Why they could be better this year or will be better, and one reason why they could be worse or will be worse this year, right? Just to play the hypothetical game on both sides. Literally, outside of Beamer, Satterfield, and a more modern offensive scheme, because I think that's a given. The reason why I think the Gamecocks offense, the number one reason why I think the Gamecocks offense will be better this year than it was last year, athleticism at the quarterback position. That's it. Having a dynamic playmaker at quarterback. Is Luke Doty a perfect quarterback right now? No, absolutely not. He's not a perfect quarterback. But guys, what's crazy to me is we were all complaining last year, God, Colin Hill, he's got brick shoes on. We need an athletic quarterback. We need a dual threat guy. And now people want to side with the other guy who's not athletic, who's not dual threat. You got to have that guy. You have to. You have to have, especially on South Carolina's team, where running the football is the strength, 4 or 5 offensive linemen return, but wide receiver is a deficiency. Call it for what it is right now. Wide receiver is a deficiency. So guess what's going to happen, guys? We're going to get into 3rd and 7s, 3rd and 8s, 3rd and longs. It's inevitably going to happen. And whoever's behind center is going to drop back to pass. And guess what? Nobody's going to be open. So guess what you've got to do? You've got to scramble. You have to improvise. You have to get outside the pocket. If we had a team full of Alshons and Sidney Rices and even like Debo Samuels, and we could just drop back 5 steps and just we had a bunch of guys just beating their coverages and beating their matchups one-on-one, then sure, maybe it would make sense to have the guy who we maybe feel has a more superior arm, if you will. But we don't. We absolutely don't. We don't. We don't. Bottom line, we don't. So in college football, man, you need a dual threat quarterback. I truly believe that. There's only like 2 or 3 teams that are good enough to play 10 on 11 football, because that's what you do when the quarterback is a non-threat to be outside the pocket or be an athlete. You're playing 10 on 11. We are not good enough to do that. We are not. Really, there aren't many teams that are. There's, like I said, a handful maybe. Hardly even. Today's day and age of football, the quarterback's got to be an athlete. Luke Doty gives this football team the best chance to win, and I don't think it's close. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't think it's close, and I don't think Shane Beamer thinks it's close. Because guess what? If Shane Beamer really felt like there was a competition and, he wouldn't have named a starter after the spring game, guys. He wouldn't have named a starter. So if you're a Doty, if you're a Doty doubter, buckle up. Luke Doty's your guy. So you can either ride with him and accept that, or you can bitch and moan all season, I guess. I don't know. And listen, I'm not saying that if Luke Doty struggles, if we're in week 6 and he hasn't progressed and he can't do anything in the passing game, then by all means, I just want to win games. I don't give a damn who plays. Hey, play Colton Gauthier for all I care. But looking at it right now, I think Luke Doty gives this team the best chance to win. Like I said, he's the number one reason why I think this offense will take a huge step forward. If you look at my predictions, you'll notice I've got some pretty high scores in there. I do think that Luke Doty is going to be, and I think this offense, I should say, is going to take a step forward, and I think it's all going to be because of Luke Doty's athleticism. I think that will be the biggest difference maker for the offense. Because, hey, guess what? When you got an athletic quarterback, you can really, we talk about pass pro. That was such an issue last year. When you got an athletic quarterback, you can mask a lot of deficiencies on the offensive line. You can mask deficiencies at the receiver position. Because, hey, guess what? In the passing game, Perry Orth talked about this. You talk to any quarterback, you are banking on all 11 guys or all 10 guys surrounding you as the quarterback. They're all doing their job perfectly, right? And most of the time, 99.9% of the time, doesn't happen, especially on our team where, like I said, we have areas of concern. We do. Call it for what it is. We do. So Luke Doty is the guy, in my opinion, guys, no question, gives you the best chance to win. I will literally argue that till kickoff. I will. So, again, guys, 843-790-3377. Great podcast that dropped this morning, guys. Like I said, it's really fun, and we start getting into breaking down the offense, defense, special teams, these position units, because we really, we've been kind of looking at this thing with the opponent preview series, and even given my predictions, we've sort of been looking at it from a high-level view, if you will. Now we're getting in the nitty-gritty. We're starting to really break down like players and positions and all that good stuff. We're getting in the nitty-gritty now, and it's really exciting. For yours truly, I love doing it. Obviously. Thomas Walker, I love how we are only talking about Harrison Lloyd would have been running back 1 if he didn't get injured. As long as the O-line can give them some gaps, it'll be a run-heavy offense this year. Luke may need to complete 10 or 12 passes a game. That's it. And yeah, listen, by the way, thank you all so much that came out to Tin Roof last night. Those that tuned in digitally as well. Thank you all so much for the love and support, man. That event last night at Tin Roof was incredible. And like I said, guys, if you did not know, we are live at Tin Roof every Wednesday, 5 to 7. So come out if you're in the city, or tune in if you're not. Like I said, we're going to be streaming that thing each and every single week. But I talked to Jeff O'Hara about this, a Cox by 90. He disagreed with me. He said, you got to be more balanced than 70-30. Listen, in an ideal world, I get that. I want South Carolina to be 50-50 and throw for 300 and run for 250 or vice versa, like whatever. Let's be the most balanced team in college football. But on the flip side, as much as we want to be balanced, you have to play to your strengths. You have to. You just have to, So while we may want to be balanced, we got to play to our strengths. And our strength is going to be the offensive line and running the football. Bottom line. Let's pass when we can. Let's pick and choose our matchups. But we have got to establish. If we can't establish the ground game, we have no chance anyways. I mean, to be totally honest with you, in games where we can't run the football, I don't see us having success. But I think most of the time we will be able to run it, honestly. But in games where we can't, it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a real struggle. Chase Youngblood says Doty Doty should be Shaw-esque. You know, I hate to compare Luke Doty to the greatest to ever do it at the quarterback position at South Carolina, but you make a good point. Let's see. Joshua Jenkins, it's official from Gamecocks Online. Pitching coach Justin Parker. I mean, did that not happen like 3 days ago? That happened on Monday. But they officially released on the website. Let's see. Phil Kornblue just released his SEC preseason ballot. He has Bama winning the West. Get his East, though. Georgia, Florida, Mizzou, South Carolina in 4th. Kentucky in 5th. Tennessee in 6th. Vandy in 7th. He has Georgia as the SEC champion. All right, let's jump to the phone lines, guys. Yo, Justin, what's going on, man? How are you?
Doing good. How about you, Chris?
I'm doing well, man. I appreciate it. What's going on?
Well, Chris, I'm very concerned right now.
With what exactly? Be more specific.
Well, here's something funny to you. Well, they still test Oklahoma and spot reach out to join the SEC. It doesn't feel right, Chris.
Hold on. Say that again. You cut out a little bit. Say that again.
Hey, Chris, I'm kind of concerned that if Texas and Oklahoma join the SEC, this could be bad.
If Texas and Oklahoma join the SEC, okay. I mean, I like I said, I think it's a long shot. I think it's all just. Is it a publicity stunt? Who knows? I've already said though I wouldn't be a huge fan of it. I mean, listen, I understand the people and like if you're just a college football fan, then cool, right? Like it's an awesome thing and the cool matchups and I get that side, but bro, I'm a South Carolina fan and we've never won the SEC before. We've only been to Atlanta once. It's hard enough to get there. I mean, I don't want to, if they join it, then hey, cool. We'll just have to beat them too. And I don't want to take the mindset of like, oh man, we don't want to have to play anybody. And like, but again, it's just, if you want me to be totally honest, we had this conversation last night at Tin Roof and people were talking about, hey, who would you want to see us schedule? It's like, dude, our schedule's hard enough. We don't need to go out of conference and schedule Michigan and Southern Cal and Texas and Oklahoma. Like the schedule's hard enough. I'm tired of having a top 5 ranked toughest schedule in the country. I'm sick of it. So if it happens, it happens. It's something that's out of my control, so I'm not necessarily going to worry about it all that much. But I don't know. I think it's a pipe dream right now. I mean, they reached out to the SEC. Would the SEC even be interested? And would they be able to join? Because I think a lot of teams would veto it. it. So,
Yeah, I agree, Chris. And like you said, man, look, listen, Chris, we can't control what's going on. It's just like, they just try to get the money for this, right, Chris? That's all.
I mean,
right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, it's something that none of us have control over. And so, I mean, whether we want it to happen or don't want it to happen, if it happens, it happens. So, I don't know. So we'll see. I mean, like I said, I don't necessarily want it. I'd like to see us win a ring first, then they can join. But hey, if the powers that be say it's going to happen. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and deny that like a South Carolina Texas game at Williams-Brice wouldn't be really, really cool. I'm just saying that, again, it's like, man, like you're just beefing up the league so much. And it just makes the path harder for South Carolina. And I'm a South Carolina fan. So I don't want that, So.
Yeah, I agree, Chris. I don't want that either. Listen, I would love to see South Carolina get an SEC championship before those two properties join, at least just try,
I mean, yeah, I think we're certainly going to try. I'd just like to see it happen. I mean, it's like I said, it's enough of a challenge, and we've already got enough hurdles to jump over in Texas A&M and Florida and Georgia and Tennessee, and we're playing Auburn, and we play Alabama every now and then. Hey, guess what? We also have to play Clemson on our schedule. So, like, again, it's just like why I don't know, but again, it's one of those things. It's fun for us to sit here and talk about and just throw shit at the wall and see if it sticks, but. Dude, until it happens, I think it's just a pipe dream. I don't necessarily see it happening. So, but who knows?
Yeah,
and
Chris. Yeah, and Chris, you know what? It may not happen. It might be saying, "Oh, it's just a rumor,"
Right. That's what I'm saying. It might just be smoke and mirrors. I mean, honestly. So, Yeah, it might just be smoke and mirrors. So, we'll see. We will see.
Oh yeah, yeah. And Chris, Chris, I like the picture when you did with Shane B with sunglasses. It was pretty cool,
Yeah, of him reenacting the Spurrier photo. Yeah, I mean, it was, it's just something to get people riled up and, very creative and fun and everything else. So, yeah, I mean, Shane Beamer just keeps on keeping on with the positive momentum and keeping everybody fired up and juiced up and all that, of course, which, like I said, he's done a phenomenal job doing that. So we'll have one more, I say slow week, not necessarily for us, but for them as far as on field. It'll be one more slow week for Gamecock football on the field. I know next week they've got their cookouts, and so it'll be a big recruiting week, I guess, and the dead period hits again August 1st. But once the dead period hits, hey, fall camp. So I mean, it's right around the corner, and I'm excited after a preseason of that's been you couldn't honestly draw up a better preseason for Shane Beamer in his first preseason than what you've seen this spring and summer and everything else. But I will be very excited, and I am very excited to actually see our team get on the field and compete, because you know what, we can do all the talking in the preseason and have this positive momentum, but let's get this football team on the field, get the pads on, let the pads start doing the talking, and we'll go there. Because I'll tell you what, man, as much as I love making content. Obviously the preseason content's really, really fun, but even yours truly, we get to about 2 weeks from kickoff, and I'm like, man, you just get to a point where you're like, man, I'm so tired of just breaking it down. Like I'm ready to talk about football that actually happened on the field, a game that actually went down. So, I know we're all anxious for it. 44 days. It'll be before you know it, though. So like I've said many times, savor the summer, make your last lake and beach trips, because before you know it, it'll be kickoff, and we'll be locked in for the next 13, 14, 15 weeks or so. So.
Oh yeah, I agree, Chris. Hey, Chris, and thing about, listen, I love old school stuff. I like the sunglasses, and the visor,
Oh, you're a sunglasses visor guy. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I think Shane Beamer's going to be a ball cap guy if I had to guess. I don't think he's going to be a sunglasses guy on the sideline. I think he's going to be a ball cap guy from what I can tell, but who knows? Who knows? I think he's a ball cap guy. If I had to guess, I think he's a ball cap guy.
Yeah, I agree, Chris. I think he is too, because I don't see Shane Beamer with the visor like Sporty did in the past.
Nah, I don't see Beamer rocking the visor. I think he knows that's a Spurrier thing. I don't think he'll, but you never know. I mean, he's going to have his own style, and can't wait to see it. So.
Yeah, me too, Chris. And Chris Fargo, look, we did so much of it. We did so much of it. Did you know that?
So you talking about Muschamp and sunglasses, you said?
Yeah, we never saw him do that.
No, we never saw him do that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Beamer's got his own style. So, I mean, we all love to see it, obviously. So you can't really speak to the previous staff or regime or whatever they're doing, or whatever they did, I should say. But no, you love to see it, man. Like I said, Shane Beamer continues to put his stamp on everything. And like I said, it's just going to be a fun season. It's going to be a really fun season. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too, Chris. Well, Chris, that's all to say, man.
Hey, I appreciate it, Justin. Thanks so much for the call, man.
You have a good day, my brother.
Yep, you too. Appreciate it. Take care, man. Good stuff, guys. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Heath Hagler says, I just think it's insane to still think that Brown is better than Doty after Coach Beamer declared him the starter after spring ball and then confirmed it on Monday. Again, I don't think there's many, Heath, that think that. I don't think there's many that think, like I said, I going into spring ball, I did not think Shane Beamer would name a starter, right? Until fall, maybe 2 weeks before kickoff, whatever. I did not think he'd name a starter. And so when it first happened, I was like, I'm kind of surprised. But now that we're in the summer, I'm not. I think it was a genius move. And the reason is this. If you let that linger and you don't name a starter and you're saying we're going to have competition, then you let people like me and you and other media types and just people on social media almost control the narrative of the quarterback position at South Carolina. You let people just run with it and create a quarterback controversy and create conversation around it when really there is no need for that conversation to be there. And also you give Luke Doty the entire summer as, hey, you're the guy, you're the dude, you're the leader of our football team. Take ownership of it. So, yeah. So I think it actually really makes sense. when you look at it that way. I think it really makes sense when you look at it that way. So, yeah, I think that's why you haven't seen quite as much back and forth banter, is because Shane Beamer nipped in the bud early, you know? Let's see. Joshua Jenkins says, the fact we went 2-10 in my simulation gets me pumped up, but it's a video game, so 6 wins is what I would like to get. Yeah, Josh, it is a video game. Hey, let's see what my simulation says. I'm having, Josh, I'm very shocked your simulation said. Are you sure you weren't playing it with the 2013 rosters? I'm just shocked it said 10-2. I'm shocked at that. Like, absolutely shocked. Let's see. Savannah Webster will be interested to hear Beamer's thoughts on OU joining with his relationship with Riley. Yeah, I'm sure he would have some very good insight. And I'm sure he'll be asked about it at some point. I find it hard to believe he wouldn't. Let's see. Joshua Jenkins says, Chris, I see you in 10 years on SEC Network broadcasting SEC now. I appreciate that, Josh. Who knows? Who knows? James Kendall, don't simulate it on Heisman, please. Honestly, dude, I don't think I did that before, and it's still very realistic. I mean, the simulation had us going 4-6 last year, and I'll be damned if pretty damn close. Pretty damn close. So, I mean, we want it to be as realistic as possible, do we not? Do we not want it to be realistic as possible? So, again, guys, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Taking your questions, comments, calls as well, guys. Appreciate you all tuning in. Like I said, quick reminder, episode 474 did drop this morning as the TSUS season preview series begins. We talked Gamecocks offense on today's show. Very exciting stuff. Very excited to get the season preview series rolling. Today's show, offense. Monday's podcast will be defense. And then Thursday's podcast will be special teams. Also, guys, a fantastic conversation. Fantastic interview. Former South Carolina running back Corey Boyd. Corey Boyd joined the show. Great stuff. Cannot recommend that interview enough. You guys should definitely check that out if nothing else. I'm thinking, guys, let's see. I'm thinking, guys, we will go to the, by the way, because you guys know the Daily Crow is expanding at some point very, very soon. The Daily Crow will be going from 12 to 1 to 12 to 2, Monday through Friday, 12 to 2. I'm thinking that will be happening probably the third week of August. Not the week of game day, the week before the week of game day. So we can have 1 week of 2-hour shows, and that week of game day, we're fully locked and loaded and rolling. So I'll tell you, Wednesdays for yours truly is going to be insane because we're going to have the freaking, Daily Crow 12 to 2. We're going to have 10 Roo 5 to 7. And oh, by the way, I got to record a podcast previewing the game that weekend at some point that day. So I'll probably be behind a mic from 12 to 7 that day, literally. So, hey, we love it. We love it. We absolutely love it. Joshua Jenkins, so you're using the Operation Sports rosters. I'm using SG1 Sports rosters. I pay $5 a month for their rosters, but I mean, their rosters I think are incredible. I'd say they're the best in the game. I tried to download, see here, and Josh, so if you're using Operation Sports, I downloaded Operation Sports rosters, and they still had like Ryan Helinski on the roster and Colin Hill and Shi Smith, and maybe they've updated since then, but I thought it was very inaccurate. But whatever. I mean, I'm assuming they've updated since then. I would like to think so. Brian Dean says, I like to think our linebackers are going to be a pleasant surprise. I mean, I think they'll be solid. I'm not looking at our linebackers as, best in the conference or anywhere near that, but I think they'll be solid, no question. I think they'll be, Debo Williams is the wild card. Just how good of a player is he going to be? But, excuse me. I like Sherrod Green's experience. I like Mo Kaba as a player. Damani Staley's a solid player. Again, Debo Williams. Somebody's got to fill in and step up and fill in that role, that vacancy that Ernest Jones left. Who's going to step up and be that dude in the middle? Who's going to be the leader of our defense? Brock Otter, what's going on? Travis says, Chris, can you only get the revamp on a specific site and you have to have the NCAA 13 game for it to work correct? Yes, you have to have the disc. To start out, if you've never downloaded it, you have to have the disc. Yes. Yes, you have to have the disc. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. Let's jump to the text line real quick. I think Robbie Davis did text in. I think I might have missed that. Here we go. Yeah, Robbie Davis says, what's up, Chris? What position coach do you think could help us the most in Beamer's first year? Go Gamecocks. To heck with that team in the upstate, and always love your show because you keep it real. Robbie, I appreciate you tuning in as always. No, I mean, I've said many times, I think the two assistant coaches that have the greatest opportunities to make the biggest impacts in year one, and it's no question, in my opinion, it's wide receiver coach Justin Stepp and defensive backs coach Torian Gray, because those are the two biggest question marks on this football team. And I would actually probably say it's Stepp even more than Torian Gray, because there's just so many bodies in the wide receiver room. There's so many bodies. So, and we feel like there are guys in that room with a lot of talent. We do. We feel like there are a lot of guys in that room with talent. Can we see development there? Can Justin Stepp get the most out of those guys? So I think he's got the greatest opportunity to make an impact in his first year as an assistant coach. Let's see. Brock Otter, I'm doing well, man. I appreciate you asking. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377, guys. Again, appreciate you all tuning in. Thank you all so much, man, for the continued love and support. I cannot say enough. If you have not joined the Big Cock Club, by the way, big things rolling. We're actually releasing Behind the Beak a little bit later today on the Patreon. We also released some business updates and content updates yesterday on the Patreon. Of course, things are rocking and rolling in the Big Cock Club Discord. We've also got the merchandise. If you want access to that, patreon.com/Big Cock Club. Again, that's patreon.com/Big Cock Club. Just look out for the links on social media as well. But again, thank you all so much to the people that have tuned into that, who have joined that. Cannot thank you all enough for the love and support. Also, if you're on YouTube and you want to support the business, support the channel, support the content, you can through Super Chat and Super Stickers. And again, truly, truly, truly appreciate you guys, man, for continuing to rock with us, supporting the business, supporting the show. Like I said, especially right now where it's July 22nd, right? We're in the peak of the preseason. You know, Shane Beamer's appearance at SEC Media Days is done, and now we're really in just the nitty-gritty of breaking down things and looking ahead of the season. 44 days away. We're kind of in that, like I said, the true preseason. And you guys continue to show up, tune in, rock with the content, rock with everything we do. Again, I cannot say enough great things about you guys, and I truly appreciate it. TSUS, the Daily Crow, none of what we do would be what it is without you guys. So, again, thank you all so much, man. I truly, truly do appreciate it. Let's see. I mean, Travi, getting revamp on the system, it's not the easiest thing in the world. It's just something that you got to watch the video a couple times and just figure it out. I mean, that's what I did. So but it's not the easiest thing in the world. I will say that. Hunter Wiley, which Gamecock from the past do you think would help this team out the most this year? So basically what you're saying is if you could pull one Gamecock, historic Gamecock off any team and put them on this year's team, who would it be? I would say that's tough because we have a lot of issues. I mean, you look at a guy like Alshon. I mean, having a guy like Alshon on the outside to help out this football team, the passing game would be huge. Heck, you could say Connor Shaw, right? You could say Connor. Heck, you could say a guy like Swearinger. We need help in the secondary. There's no question. Trying to think. Yeah, I mean, I'd say one of those three guys. So. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Taking your questions, comments, calls. Guys, appreciate y'all tuning in yet again, man. This is awesome. Seriously, appreciate it. Brian Dean, we have 8 starters back on offense and 6 back on defense. With that said, Carolina goes 8-4. I love it. Hey, from your lips to God's ears, Brian. From your lips to God's ears. I'd love to see that. I'm locked in at 6-6. I'd love for you to be right. Sean O'Brien, do you think Bentley was who he was, or do you think he would have benefited being coached under a different regime, such as Beamer's in any capacity? I mean, dude, I'll tell you this. I mean, I was very hard on Jake Bentley, and I think Jake Bentley right now is a very average college quarterback. There's a reason he's at South Alabama. But with that being said, it's really hard to judge any offensive player in the in the Will Muschamp era. It's just hard to, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, dude, if Jake Bentley was coached by, Steve Spurrier instead of Will Muschamp, yeah, I think he'd have been a lot better player. There's no question. So as hard as I was on Jake Bentley, did he benefit from the greatest coaching while he was in Columbia? No. I think we can all agree with that. Again, guys, 15 minutes left. Appreciate you all tuning in. We're supposed to be getting preseason all-conference teams and preseason picks from the media later today. Also, guys, the Columbia Fireflies have beer bats for the Columbia Fireflies. How about that? And they also have a doubleheader tonight in Columbia because of a rainout. So they're playing their first game. I don't know if you guys live in the area or familiar with the Fireflies or whatever. They had a rainout, I guess, Monday. They play at 5 o'clock, game 1 in a 7-inning game, have a 45-minute break, then play game 2 tonight. So, interesting. If you're in the city and trying to see some minor league baseball, there you go. So, Brian Dean says Colin Hill was terrible, old stone feet. Well, he wasn't great, and we had a lot of other issues too, so it wasn't a good mix. Travie, we know how the NCAA likes to shut stuff down with the NIL approval. Why not sell that revamp? Because it's free. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm glad that the revamp is free. I mean, I don't know. I don't really know the answer to that one, Travie. I don't know. Christian Carver, going in these games, the difference with the other teams and our team is they'll have more depth and will be more deep. Yeah. I mean, depth is certainly one of our top concerns. There's no question. We've got some good players. We don't have the depth, though. We just don't have the depth right now. And the only way to solve that's in recruiting, and Shane Beamer's certainly doing that right now, and he'll continue to do that. But you just, you be naive to say that, oh yeah, we have depth. Like, no, we don't. We don't. And knock on wood, we've got to pray to God that injuries don't hit this football team because, like I said, we don't have the depth. There are certain positions on this football team where we cannot afford to be hit by any sort of injury or anything. So, Brian Dean says Sling Blade started Hill too many games. Brian Dean says also after game 1, Doty would have been my starter. Well, Brian, I guess they should have made you the OC. Sean O'Brien says, do you think the Big 12 ceases to exist if Oklahoma and Texas leave? I feel like if they do leave, it'll likely actually happen in 2024, 2025 when the TV contracts expire. I mean, listen, if that happens, if Texas and Oklahoma dip, yeah, dude, it's going to change. I mean, it's going to change everything about college football. It is. It's going to change everything about college football. How could they not? How could the, how could the Big 12 continue on? How could it continue on? So I don't know. I'm still very skeptical that it will happen. I think it's fun to talk about right now. And is it a publicity stunt? Is there an angle that Texas and Oklahoma are, is there a reason they're doing this? Like, I don't know. Like I said, I'm a little skeptical of it right now. A little skeptical of it, but we'll see. Again, guys, in case you missed it, Jordan Rodgers going on SEC Network this morning saying, quote, Tank Bigsby is the best running back in the SEC, and I don't think it's close, end quote. So, I mean, listen, if you want to argue that that Tank's the best, that's fine. I mean, I have no issues with that. But to say it's not even close, come on. There's only one guy that led the conference in rushing last year, and he plays football in Columbia. So that's all I'll say. Let's see. Justin Martin, I wish Jake Bentley would have done better at South Carolina. I wish we as a team would have done better. How about that? I mean, Yep, I wish we as a team could have done better. But it is what it is, man. I'm glad. Everything happens for a reason. I am very happy with where we are right now. And obviously, man, I mean, with what Shane Beamer's doing, very, very excited for what's to come. Very excited. Very, very excited for sure. Let's see. Again, guys, taking your questions, comments, calls. Got about 10 minutes left. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Guys, like I said as well, great podcast that dropped this morning. Y'all want to talk Carolina offense? Go listen to the podcast. Let's talk Carolina offense. Again, the TSUS season preview series began today. talking Gamecocks offense, everything from a look back at 2020 to key returners, key departures, top storylines for the year. Season will be successful if, why they'll be better, why they'll be worse. And I gave my prediction for the Gamecocks offense this upcoming season, which, by the way, spoiler alert, I think the Carolina offense will take a big step forward this year. I really do. I think Shane Beamer and Marcus Satterfield both, but especially Shane Beamer, I think he, coming from Oklahoma, most certainly understands the importance of being explosive offensively, of scoring points. You have to do so. You have to do so in this day and age of college football. So I'm not sitting there saying we're going to score 50 points per game, but I do think you'll see us be much improved offensively. I don't think we'll be quite as painful to watch as we were last year, which I don't know how we could be because last year was a freaking nightmare most of the time. I think we will be better offensively, though. I really do. I think we'll be improved. And like I said, guys, I think the number one reason, athleticism at QB. I really think Luke Doty, his athleticism, his dynamic playmaking ability, I think that's going to be the biggest difference for the Gamecocks offense. Ben Portnoy, the state, good buddy of mine, he tweets out just now, South Carolina will, quote, decline comment at this time, end quote, regarding potential expansion and the inclusion of Texas, Oklahoma in the SEC. An athletic department spokesman tells the state. USC and Arkansas were added to the SEC in 1991 prior to Mizzou and A&M joining in 2012. Decline to comment. Okay. I mean, whatever. All good. Carolina Titan, Gamecocks won't get any credit until we put a consistent product on the field. I think we finally got our guy in Beamer and we'll turn heads this year. That's a great point. That's a great point, man. You want to get credit, go win games. Carolina was getting credit when Spurrier was the coach. We were getting credit. Now, granted, did we ever get picked to win the East? No. So I think there's still a lack of respect, if you will. But, we got a lot more credit when we're winning. I mean, you're going to get a lot more credit when you win, bottom line. You're going to get a lot more of the benefit of the doubt when you win, bottom line. Christian Carver, I think with Luke Day, I think we will prevent injuries. I think that's, I don't think that's going to be nearly the issue that it was with the previous staff. I don't think. There's no way it can be that bad. I can tell you that. There's no way it can be that bad. Justin Martin says, Chris, what will happen if Kansas and Baylor basketball, if Big 12 goes away? I mean, guys, again, I have no idea. I think that's something that's so far off and something that, like I said, Oklahoma and Texas joining the conference right now is a pipe dream. I just, if it happens, cool, but, man, it ain't going to be like tomorrow. You know what I mean? So they'd have to leave first. But would they search for a new conference? I don't know. I mean, they're going to keep playing, obviously, but, what would happen to it? I don't know. I don't know where they would go, what they would do, anything. So, no idea. It's crazy how that has just taken everyone by storm. And again, if this is a publicity stunt, I guess good on Texas and Oklahoma for getting what they wanted out of it, which is everybody freaking the hell out. I mean, because honestly, it's crazy. Everybody's going nuts. Everyone's going nuts. So, we'll see if it actually happens. Like I said, I'm still skeptical that it will, but we'll see. Again, guys, 44 days. 44 days until a Carolina kickoff. Isn't that wild? 44 days. It's going to be here before you know it. It is going to be here before you know it. So people, for some reason, are giving me hell on social media because I listed key returners and key departures for the offense this year. And one of my key departures was Colin Hill. Listen, you don't have to like the guy, but he started like every game for us at quarterback. So that is most certainly a notable departure. Is it not? Am I crazy? Am I crazy for that? My key returners that I listed. Again, I'm not going to list every single guy coming back, but key returners. I put running back Kevin Harris, tight end Nick Muse, running back Marshawn Lloyd, quarterback Luke Doty, and offensive lineman Dylan Wanham. My key departures, I listed wide receiver Shi Smith, offensive lineman Sedarius Hutcherson, quarterback Ryan Helinski, and quarterback Colin Hill. And guys, Colin Hill started every game, pretty much. Yes, Colin Hill is a departure. I mean, he's a notable departure. Notice how, though, on the returners, I didn't list a single wide receiver. It's because somebody's got to step up. We don't really have. I mean, when your leading returning receiver had 11 catches last year, that's not really a notable returner, is it? Unfortunately, it's not. So, it's not. Not right now, it's not. Again, I see you guys are very much caught up on the Texas-Oklahoma. I mean, it's the talking point right now. It is. It's the talking point. Travis said Hill had a pretty decent arm, just couldn't run, but Hill is a notable departure. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not saying he was great. None of us are sitting here saying he was great, but he started like every game. I mean, every other team that would lose their quarterback would say that's a notable departure. Not saying it's like a huge loss or that we're not going to effectively upgrade at the quarterback position, because I think we will. But that is a notable departure for Gamecock football. It is. Whether you like it or not, it is. So, anyways, whatever. Again, guys, a couple of minutes left. Like I said, quick reminder, listen to the podcast that dropped this morning, episode 474. The TSUS season preview series begins today. Starts today. Talking Gamecocks offense on the show today. Monday, we talk defense. Next Thursday, we will talk special teams. So very exciting stuff. Looking forward to it, guys. It's always a fun time of year, like I said, breaking everything down, getting into, like I said, the nitty gritty. We've been sort of high level overview, giving predictions and talking, opponent previews and all that good stuff. Now we're really getting in the nitty gritty. Now we're really getting into it. Now we're really breaking down this football team this year. So Christian Carver says, I'm excited to see or interested to see what we can do with Lloyd and Harris can do together. If Harris can put some numbers, NFL scouts should give him a look in the year. Yeah, I mean, I think if Harris is a great year, I think he can go to the league. I mean, seriously. I mean, if he has another great year, why wouldn't he, Aaron Bishop, who replaces Skylar Mead on the baseball staff? Our pitching was great. They've already hired a guy, Justin Parker, pitching coach from Indiana, which I've talked to guys, seem to really like him. He's a really, really good one. His staff was really good at Indiana this past year, so he's officially been hired. So, Travi, appreciate you tuning in, man. Thanks so much. Sean O'Brien, thanks for the love. I appreciate that. Says you love the pod this morning. Thank you. Yeah, like I said, I especially would highly recommend that conversation with Corey Boyd, man. Incredible stuff. Incredible stuff. So, I'll leave you guys on this, by the way. I posed this question in our Big Cock Club Discord, but I want to ask you all. We have 3 minutes left, so get the answers in quick. Of course, Brian Harson's speaking today, and he coaches at Auburn. If you had to pinpoint it, I'm just curious. Why do you think South Carolina fans dislike Mike Bobo so much? Dislike Mike Bobo the way that they do? Is it the way he left? Is it the Ryan Helinski saga? Like, why do you feel like, or you can say you specifically, like, why do you dislike Mike Bobo? So I'm just trying to see something. I'm not like saying I like Mike Bobo. I'm just, because I think to myself, though, like, that's going to be a huge storyline for that game, but it's like, I can't really pinpoint why I really don't like Bobo all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, the way he left was slimy, but I'm curious for you guys as fans, like, why do you dislike Bobo so much? Thomas Walker says the list goes on. I don't take any of it personally, Thomas. I don't know. I think it's all a business, and the coaches just do it. I mean, I'm glad it worked out the way it did, man. I'm glad we got Satterfield. I'm glad Bobo's not still here, to be honest with you. Sean O'Brien, they dislike Bobo because of the Helinski issue, and they probably think he had something to do with Gunnar Stott and decommitting. Fair enough. Fair enough. Josh Reichley, appreciate you, my man. Yep, we'll be live tomorrow, noon to 1, of course. Hey, right here. You know where to find me, babe. Right here. Corey Gardner says because his offense sucked. Well, I can't really argue that. Outside of Kevin Harris last year, not many things went right. Justin Martin, appreciate the love, man. Hey, guys, going to go ahead and wrap it up. Appreciate you all tuning in. Like I said, very exciting day. A lot going on, of course, with SEC Media Days and all the madness behind that with Texas, Oklahoma, all that good stuff. A lot of great commentary, a lot of great content lined up for today. Also, in the meantime, like I said, guys, podcast did drop this morning. Episode 474, the TSUS season preview series begins talking Carolina's offense going in the 2021 season. So, guys, a full breakdown of the Gamecocks offense, Shane Beamer, Marcus Satterfield, that whole crew, what you should expect to see this upcoming season. Also, guys, we talked recruiting, took your listener questions, and a fantastic conversation with former Gamecocks running back in South Carolina, great Corey Boyd. Legendary interview, guys. I highly suggest you check that out. And again, stay tuned to all the content. Again, guys, thank you all so much. Appreciate the love. If you're in the Big Cock Club, stay tuned for updates there as well. Got some content dropping a little bit later today. Otherwise, guys, stay tuned for all the content. Daily Crow will return tomorrow. We'll knock it out, round out the week on a Friday, noon to 1. You guys already know the drill. Again, appreciate you all tuning in. Have a great rest of your Thursday, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much.